every 20 minutes. It's your statewide Alabama weathercast.
Good evening, I'm meteorologist Drew McCombs with the Alabama Weather Network, and this is your evening statewide forecast update. And it is a calm evening there across the state. As you can see, we just have a few scattered clouds and spots, good bit of clear skies out there, and no rain to speak of. You can see a few showers down in South Mississippi, but nothing across the state of Alabama. And looking at the sky cams, it's hard to find anything but blue skies as the sun's going down. Starting off at the northern edge of the state in Ardmore, got a few flying insects around of some sort, but the temperature is at 65 degrees over a dew point of 55. So very fall-like there at the state line. Russellville, a little bit further to the southwest, it's 76 degrees, so a little bit warmer there. Beautiful, as you can see, the blue skies there are starting to fade into some pink towards the horizon. And as we head further to the south, Montgomery's a good bit warmer. It's 82 degrees there. The dew point's, though, still at 60, so really not that bad. Looking over the Crampton Bowl, beautiful looking sky there as well. Further down towards the south, Dozier looking really beautiful there. As you can see, the kind of starting to look straight into the sun. The temperature's at 81, and it's just really nice and calm out there. And as we look at our Orange Beach camera, it is calmer than it was earlier when we saw a little bit more wave action happening along the beaches. Have a rip current statement in effect. It looks a little bit just calmer right now than it was. Beautiful, though, as the sun's going down. Do expect to still have a rip current statement in effect for those beaches for tomorrow, but again, it just looks really nice right now. As far as what we're watching, though, it's a pleasant night again across the state. You could see that looking at the cameras. Dry through the weekend. Don't expect any appreciable rain chances coming up this week, and then gradual warm up as we head into the weekend as well. So we'll expect to get more into the 90s for highs as we head into the latter part of the week. High temperatures today, we didn't hit 90 anywhere. We got into the low 80s in the northeastern part of the state, so pretty comfortable there. Mid 80s across kind of the south, and then towards the southwest, you hit 88 degrees in places like Thomasville, Monroeville, and Atmore and Mobile. Nobody hit 90 though. Didn't see that from our Alabama Weather Network Skywatchers either. Here their reports. Ronald Hughes and Coker came in at 87. Same thing from Tyne, Wingo, and Corner. Mike Stevens and Helena came in at 86 degrees. Joshua Bowen and Troy, 85. And then Chris Cheatwood and Anniston got to 79 degrees. So not bad to not hit 80 degrees over there in Anniston. Temperatures right now, again, we haven't cooled off too much from our highs, but we're at 80 in Anniston, 80 in Gadsden, it's 79 in Clanton, 83 in Birmingham. And then towards the south, a little bit warmer. It's 85 in Chatham and Monroeville, and we'll expect to see those temperatures start to steadily fall as we get past sunset, and we'll eventually expect to get into the upper 50s in the northern and northeastern part of the state. Could even start to see some of that down towards places like Troy and Eufaula, because we're going to get some drier air that's moved into place in the eastern part of the state. But to the western part of the state, there's a little bit more moisture, a little bit more humidity, so we won't get quite as low. And we expect down towards the coast, maybe only get into the lower 70s. Forecast highs for tomorrow, we expect things to kind of tick up a little bit. So places that only saw low 80s today expect to get mid to upper 80s in Gadsden and Anniston to around 86 degrees tomorrow. Upper 80s in many other spots towards the south, and we do think we'll touch 90 degrees in places like Mobile and maybe a few other spots, and we'll see more of that going into the latter part of the week. Futurecast is very quiet. We don't see much outside of just a few clouds moving through as we head into tomorrow morning and into tomorrow afternoon. Maybe a few more clouds starting to move into the southern part of the state tomorrow evening through Thursday morning, but really just not a whole lot to talk about there. It's going to be pretty quiet outside of it's going to be just kind of a temperature forecast more or less for the next couple of days. Here's your water vapor look here, and this kind of gives you an overall look at what's happening with the weather. So we've got all of this orange right here, which is dry air being represented in the water vapor imagery, and you see that over our area, over the state of Alabama, further to the northeast, further to the southwest, and then you have a high pressure anchored up way up there moving into Canada at this point, but we still have high pressure kind of dominant over our area. Low pressure to the south along this stalled boundary, and it's bringing lots of rain to the peninsula of Florida. So they've been just engulfed in rain the last couple of days, and that will continue. But we are still in the dry part of this pattern. And you can see that looking at a rainfall outlook for the next week. Not a speck of rain being shown here for this outlook. So again, we continue to stay dry. Here's your 7-day forecast that reflects that. In North Alabama, we expect to get into the upper 80s, mid to upper 80s tomorrow, gradually warming as we head towards the weekend, and see the lows expected to moderate a little bit more, but still pretty nice in the mornings and fairly cool depending on where you are. And as we get into South Alabama, again, just a spot shower possible in a few spots. We left a 10% rain chance here, but really most places will not see any rain. as we head through the end of the week. Again, those temperatures starting to bump up as we get it into the weekend, but still overall not too bad with a fairly low humidity for this time of year. Well, that is your Alabama forecast update, and we appreciate you watching us on the Alabama Weather Network.